City Church family. My name's Emily Simmons. I'm one of the members of our church missions committee, and I'm here today with Josh Lum Shue Chan. He's one of the members of our church who is going to share with us a little bit about his missions experience and his plans for the future. So we're excited to have him here. Thanks, Josh. To get started, could you share with the church what your missions experience thus far has been?
Yeah. So in 2019, I went to Japan in January, and I worked at a international Christian school for 6 months. While I was there, I was teaching subjects like math and programming to mostly high schoolers. And then alongside of that, I was also leading Bible studies and helping out with other evangelistic activities that the missionaries were doing in that area.
How has your experience in Japan and how has that impacted you personally, and also how has it potentially impacted your thoughts for your future?
Yeah, so I felt like I noticed two things when I was in Japan. The first one is Japan has a massive need for the gospel. There's a very clear numerical need. The highest statistical estimate of the number of Christians I've seen in the country is 2%. And from what I've seen, that's not a realistic number. Almost the whole country does not know about the gospel. But beyond that, the change I saw in the Japanese Christians, seeing people experience grace and forgiveness through the gospel in a culture where that doesn't really exist, those concepts don't really exist, was pretty amazing, I thought. And then the second thing that I felt like I kind of saw while I was on my trip was I saw that God's really given me a passion for Japanese culture. So when I came back, I kind of put those two things together and was like, maybe that's what a calling looks like. So what I'm thinking is that sometime after graduation, I want to try to go back and to Japan and work as just in a regular workplace, but with the intent of reaching like my coworkers and other Japanese people and or internationals who I come across with the gospel. Basically doing what I would hope to be doing in an American workplace, fulfilling the Great Commission, but instead in Japan.
Out of curiosity, have you been staying connected or involved with any people back in Japan?
Yeah. So it's actually recently changed a little bit with coronavirus. Because of the coronavirus, the church I went to in Japan started live streaming their services online. So I've been able to attend those, which has been really cool. And the Bible study I went to in Japan also did a Zoom meeting Bible study, which I and some other people who are living in America at the current time also were able to attend. And then besides those like kind of special case areas, I've also been keeping in contact with many of the missionaries and some of the Japanese nationals I met while I was there.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love that you've been able to stay connected with people. Our last question for you, and perhaps even our most important, is how can we be praying for you in this process while you're making these decisions and finishing up school?
Yeah, to get a job in Japan, there are exceptions, but most of the time you have to have a certain level of Japanese, and I'm not there yet. However, I have run out of credits to take Japanese classes at UF. So from here on out, I have to self-study and find ways to practice with as much as I can. So just pray that I'll be disciplined and that I'll find opportunities in that area. Second, pray that I would be able to follow God's leading. I really want to go to Japan. So I know I'll have a hard time giving that up if God calls me somewhere else. So just pray that if God's actually calling me to Japan, that I go wholeheartedly, and that if God calls me somewhere else, that I'd be able to give up Japan and follow him. And then finally, please pray for my spiritual growth. I think having a certain amount of spiritual maturity is important for what I hope to do. So just pray that I continue to grow closer to God, grow in my faith and belief in him. And yeah, thank you preemptively for your prayers.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for giving us that opportunity to love you well and support you in this. And we will definitely be praying for you. So thanks for coming and sharing all of this. with us. And thank you to City Church for watching. Keep an eye out. We'll have some more updates like this. We love to keep you all updated with what the missions committee is doing. So thank you, Josh. Thank you, City Church. And we'll see you all next time.